This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 o'clock, 4 more years to lead the Circle City. We're breaking down Mayor Hogsett's big win and what's next for the city of Indianapolis.
And across central Indiana, a number of school districts have school referendums on the ballot. We have all the details on which passed and which failed.
And it was a bizarre story here in Indiana as a woman was killed by her own pet snake inside her home. The new changes lawmakers are now considering in the wake of her death. Here at 5 o'clock, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana here on this Wednesday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick, and Todd Clausen is joining us now here at 5 o'clock for our midweek forecast.
You know, and it's a decent day for us. And today, our high temperature is 55 degrees.
Okay.
I tell you that because it's still a little below normal. But I also tell you that because it's the warmest temperature we have in our extended forecast. So today's the day maybe to rake some leaves in the yard or get that lawn one final mow because we're going to get some precipitation heading our way and also some much cooler air. We're in the 30s right now and below freezing in some locations such as Richmond, Connorsville, and Greencastle. 37 in the city, 33 is the current reading in Tipton. So there's a little bit of cloud cover out there right now and a few flurries and or sprinkles to the north. That little band of precipitation will scoot through pretty quickly. And once the sun comes up, we'll call it partly cloudy. And we'll keep the sunshine for a good portion of the day today. But eventually some of this rain you see down in the Memphis area back into Oklahoma, that is going to head our way, bringing some showers into the forecast closer to sunset and then beyond. So it's a decent day for us today with mainly dry conditions through a good chunk of the day with plenty of sunshine in the noon hour up to 50 degrees. Our high gets up to 55, but the clouds gather this evening. Tomorrow, rain and snow in the forecast. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Got some construction that might slow you down. We do have some construction here on I-865 heading eastbound in the Dogleg. And then up here on the north side of town, we do have crews working in the westbound lanes of I-465 near Allisonville Road up to Keystone Avenue. So just use caution if you're traveling through that spot. It's not slow, so that is good news. Let's take a turn right now over to the east side. I-70 here in Arlington Avenue. You can see we have a vehicle there left in the shoulder, but other than that, everything is open and traveling up to speed. Well, the votes are in from several elections all across the state this morning. And one of the most talked about races here in the Circle City, Democratic incumbent Mayor Joe Hogsett won his second term.
He decisively beat out Republican challenger Jim Merritt and Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton. Hogsett ran a campaign of fiscal responsibility, citing 3 consecutive years of balanced city budgets. He will go into his second term on a mission to take advantage of the center of his campaign message. Progress is being made, but the work is not done yet.
Our city owes its past and its future, not to those who have fought to keep things the same, but to those who have fearlessly pushed us toward change and toward progress.
You can hear more about Mayor Hogsett's plan for his next 4 years in office when he joins us live in studio in the 6 o'clock hour.
Here at 5:03, voters in several counties had the opportunity to vote on several different school referendums. Our Kelsey Anderson joining us live this morning with what passed and what didn't. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. So several schools were hoping to pass referendums, and 2 of them, the large ones, were here at Lawrence Township and at Center Grove. Center Grove schools hope to bring in $24.8 million over the next 8 years to increase student safety and security. The referendum did not pass, with more than 4,000 people voting against it. The school board wanted to use the referendum to hire more school resource safety officers and camera monitoring systems. And in Lawrence Township, voters passed a $191 million referendum that will take place over 20 years. They plan to make upgrades to aging buildings. They say Lawrence Central High School hasn't had a major renovation since 1993, and Lawrence North has never had a major renovation. School officials in Carmel and Zionsville are also celebrating referendum passes, but however, a school referendum in Danville did not get the green light. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. so much. Well, we want to get to some breaking news right now. This is out of the city's north side, and that's where police say a fight led to some gunfire.
This happened at an apartment complex on Orchard Terrace around 10:30 last night. We're told a man and a woman were injured in the shooting. At this hour, police say the man is in serious condition. The woman is expected to survive. No other details have been released. We will continue to monitor the situation and bring you any developments as soon as they come into our newsroom.
To the southeast side of town now, where police are investigating the death of a woman who was found inside of a church. Police were called out to this religious education center of St. Patrick Catholic Church on East Prospect Street yesterday morning. The woman's death is being investigated as a homicide. The victim has been identified as Julie Morey. It's still unclear how she died. No suspect information has been released.
The death of a woman in western Indiana who was killed by a pet snake could lead to change in the town. The president of the Oxford Town Council believes nearly all residents want limits on certain snakes. The issue came up at a town council meeting Monday night. The Benton County coroner says an 8-foot python strangled 36-year-old Laura Hurst last week. Investigators say Hurst owned around 20 snakes in the home where she was found dead, which was renovated specifically as a place for owners to keep their snakes. Another council member said more information is needed before any action is taken on the issue.
The superintendent of Wayne Township Schools posting these pictures here online, asking for your help to identify this man. Come take a good look at your screen. He's accused of breaking into the Wayne Township preschool Sunday evening and taking multiple items. The school is located on the 1100 block of South High School Road. The thief took staff members' personal items, food that was meant for students, and electronics. If you have any information, please contact IMPD.
People living on the Near East Side are getting a chance to share their goals and vision for the neighborhood with community leaders. Working for You, RTV6 spoke to some residents to find out what improvements they want to see. Safety, housing, food access, and economic development were all topics of discussion at the meeting held last night. The goal to create a long-term quality of life plan. Chris Smith says these meetings are important for the future of the neighborhood and for long-term growth.
I think we all need to take some time to maybe listen to each other. And I think once we understand what each other are kind of like seeing for the community, maybe we'll have a better sense of what our community should look like.
More than 200 businesses and residents attended a similar meeting last month. Organizers say there will be more of these meetings over the next few months. We'll have more information on how to get involved listed on our website, theindychannel.com. Here at 5:07, Todd is taking a look at our Wednesday forecast.
And it's a decent day for us here as we make our way through this Wednesday, the middle of the week, and pretty quiet weather, at least for most of the day. As you walk out the door here this morning, skies are partly to mostly cloudy, and it's chilly. There's no doubt about that, with temperatures that are going to hover right around the freezing mark. So you probably definitely have to have the heaters on in the car this morning. But as the sun comes up a little after 7 o'clock now, by 8 o'clock, it's nice and bright. You'll need the sunglasses with partly cloudy skies. With that said, there is a little more in the way of cloud cover to the north. And you notice some returns coming in here on radar with some snow and also some rain showers. Most of that's probably not reaching the ground, but just don't be shocked if you see a flurry and or a sprinkle in northern locations. Shouldn't hamper your morning commute at all, but just be aware of that. Skies are a little clearer at this hour down to the south. But overall, this weather pattern is going to be very active for us. There's more showers here just near Kansas City. That's going to be a player in our forecast as we get into the evening hours. So today is partly sunny, but mainly dry. Temperatures mid to upper 50s. It's the warmest temperature I have in my 7-day planning forecast. We are going to get 2 shots of very, very cold air. One arrives tomorrow, the next one next week. We'll talk all about it in your 7-day planning forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. A Texas man is set to be executed in less than a week. Coming up, why celebrities are petitioning the state's governor to stop that from happening.
Indiana voters were not the only ones heading to the polls last night. Straight ahead, we'll have the results from several key races from all across the country. Here's a live look right now, though, down to the south, or rather up on the northeast side. I-69 here in the I-465 ramps. You can see some orange barrels out there on the roads, but the travel lanes are open this morning and traveling up to speed, both northbound and southbound. Stick around. We'll be right back with more just after the break.
Weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. It is 5:12 here on your Wednesday, and this is a live look at your drive down on the south side. I-65 here near Edgewood Avenue. Traffic here just south of the 465 ramps is moving along just fine. Northbound and southbound. We'll keep an eye on the roads and keep you updated throughout the morning.
Indiana voters were not the only ones who went to the polls yesterday. Voters in Virginia, Mississippi, and Kentucky also had some big decisions to make. In Virginia, Democrats gained full control of the state legislature, giving the party a majority in both chambers for the first time in nearly 25 years. In Mississippi, Republican gubernatorial candidate Tate Reeves defeated Attorney General Jim Hood, the state's only elected Democrat. And in one of the most watched races of the night, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is refusing to concede to apparent winner Andy Beshear. And we will hear from those two men later this morning. The Kentucky Secretary of State has called the race for Beshear, but Bevin could ask for a recount, setting the state up for a week of uncertainty.
Now we want to go to an update on the impeachment investigation. House Democrats here are saying that they have the dramatic reversal in a testimony from a top White House official. This puts a huge hole in President Trump's defense. This after U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, added to his testimony, saying he now remembers telling a top Ukrainian aide that the country would not receive military aid until it committed to investigating the 2016 election and former President Joe Biden. Democrats say this clearly shows the president abused his power, but Republicans maintain the inquiry is nothing but political smoke and mirrors.
Also in Washington, jury selection is underway in the trial of Roger Stone, a longtime confidant and former advisor of President Trump. Stone is accused of lying to Congress about his efforts to contact WikiLeaks, which was rolling out Democratic documents stolen by Russians. He's also facing charges for witness tampering for allegedly trying to keep comedian Randy Credico from testifying before the House Intelligence Committee in 2017. Opening statements could begin this morning, and the trial is expected to last roughly 2 weeks. If convicted, Stone faces up to 20 years in prison.
It is 5:14. The case of a Texas man is set to be executed in just a few weeks is gaining nationwide attention, including from a number of celebrities. Rodney Reed was convicted of killing Stacey Stites back in 1996, but according to his attorneys, new evidence, including a sworn affidavit by a fellow inmate, it exonerates him. The inmate says Stites' former fiance, Jimmy Fennell, confessed to the murder years ago. At the time of the confession, Fennell, who is a former officer, was serving time for an abduction and rape of another woman. An online petition signed by nearly 1.5 million people, including Rihanna, Kim Kardashian West, and several other celebrities, is calling on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop Reed's execution.
Basketball star LeBron James continues to give back to his hometown of Akron, Ohio. His foundation is partnering with Graduate Hotels to transform an apartment building and provide fully furnished housing for students attending I Promise School in need of a safe haven. I Promise is a STEM-based school James opened last year that serves at-risk kids. More than 340 3rd through 5th graders are now attending the school. James says the I Promise Village will help those students remove barriers to learning and improve their chances at future success. It is set to open at the beginning of next school year.
At 5:15, Gwyneth Paltrow brought us the term conscious uncoupling in 2014. And 5 years later, actress Emma Watson is giving us a new way to define our relationship status. In a recent interview with British Vogue, the Harry Potter actress said, while she's happily a single woman, she prefers to call herself, quote, self-partnered. Watson says she came to the realization after feeling stress and anxiety over her upcoming 30th birthday. It is 5:16 on our Wednesday. Let's check in with Todd Clausen and see what we can expect as we head outside.
And as you walk out the door here this morning, it's pretty quiet right now across central Indiana, Lauren. 37 degrees, so there's definitely a chill in the air, but the wind is calm. That is the good news. Sunrise here this morning, 7:19. Sunset is at 5:38, so keep that in mind if you're going to be out and about. So while it's 37 in the city, we do have some locations that are below freezing across central Indiana, such as Bedford and Richmond at 30 degrees, right at freezing in Connersville, Crawfordsville, Greencastle. 31 is the current temperature up in Peru. And it's not out of the question that some of these temperatures could dip down into the upper 20s here this morning before we start to warm things up as we head into the afternoon hours. So today's a decent day for us, and really it's probably the best day that we have at least remaining this week based upon the amount of sunshine we'll see and the temperatures. It's definitely the warmest day that we have for the remainder of the week. We should be near 50 by the noon hour with partly cloudy skies. And then as we work our way into into the evening hours, you will notice the clouds starting to gather a little bit more with a high temperature that'll be in the mid-50s later on this afternoon. Now, as far as precipitation, there is a little bit showing up on radar here in northern locations, some flurries and or rain showers. Not going to impact your morning commute. Once the sun comes up, we should burn some of this cloud cover off as well. And overall, again, partly sunny skies. But you notice this little batch of precipitation, which is rain in southern Missouri, that's going to stream our way. And as we get into the evening hours, we will start to enter some rain showers into the forecast. I would say anytime probably after about 7 o'clock, rain showers will start to arise. So let me go over to TrueCast and show you how it plays out for you hour by hour. Again, morning hours, you're just fine. Early afternoon, partly cloudy skies. Once we get into the evening hours, here we go, 6 o'clock off to the west, about 7, 8 o'clock through the metro area. Some scattered light rain showers start to develop across the area. No major deal. As we get into tomorrow morning's commute, the rain becomes a little more steady, especially in southern locations. And here comes the colder air. And notice what happens. Some of these rain showers go over to snow showers. So there could actually be a pretty good burst of snow tomorrow morning towards the tail end of the morning commute. And then this will move out by the noon hour and we'll be left with partly cloudy skies and falling temperatures. Could be some minor snow accumulation, but the fact that it'll be snowing when the sun is up is a big difference still this time of year. There could be some minor accumulation on grassy areas, on cars, but not suggesting an impact on the roadways at this point. But notice the temperatures tomorrow, only right around 40 degrees and then falling into the 20s. And then as you wake up on Friday morning after this cold front goes through, we're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the teens across the area in many locations. About 22 in the city. Weekend's not bad, but then another Arctic blast heads our way Monday into Tuesday as temperatures get back down into the 30s.
Todd, thank you. Here is a live look right now at your commute. This is up on the northwest side of town. This is I-465 in West 71st Street. You can see traffic in this area is moving along just fine this morning. No issues to slow you down. Take a look, though, here on the north side. We do have a little bit of construction not only on Keystone Avenue, that's ongoing, but also here on westbound I-465 near Ellisonville Road heading towards Keystone Avenue. It's blocking one lane of traffic, so just use caution as you're heading through that area. Let's take a turn a little bit farther east of this spot. This is I-465 and I-69 where you can see traffic is picking up. Lots of headlights out that way, but everything is moving along up to speed.
Singer Akon will launch his own cryptocurrency. Fittingly, it's called A-Coin, and he plans to market it mostly in Africa. Akon says he hopes to launch it in the first few months of 2020. The singer says he hopes it will help, especially the youth in Africa, overcome some of the issues they may have. Akon says he hopes cryptocurrency will help launch new businesses in the continent.
At 5:20, Uber is launching a debit card service for its drivers. The new card is part of its Uber Money program. It's designed to help make it easier for customers to pay drivers. The Uber debit card and account service is expected to eventually be available to riders. Uber says it's also updating its credit card, which will now give 5% back in Uber Cash, which can be used on other platforms, including Uber Eats. The announcement comes just a day after Uber reported that it lost more than $1 billion in the third quarter.
You don't have to spend hours basting and baking to get the taste of Thanksgiving. Pringles is releasing a turkey-flavored version of its popular chip. It's part of what Pringles is calling the Friendsgiving Turducken Kit. The line will also include duck and chicken-flavored chips along with cranberry sauce, stuffing, and pumpkin pie flavors. The 3 meat flavors can be stacked together for a turducken chip medley. You can also find the Thanksgiving chips online when they go on sale tomorrow at the Kellogg's store website. I think I will pass on that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It was a heartbreaking discovery for one Illinois man after he found this dog abandoned inside a cage in a freezing lake. But just ahead, the ending to this story that is guaranteed to warm your heart and maybe bring a tear to your eye.
And if you just can't wait for Christmas to get here, I understand. And we have a giveaway for you coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour. Your chance to win tickets to the Christmas Gift and Hobby Show. Stick around for that. But first, let's take a look at your commute. I-70 here at Sam Jones Expressway on the west side. Traffic's pretty quiet this morning. Everything's moving along just fine. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads as you're heading out the door to kick off your Wednesday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Just call Summers.
A man's disturbing discovery in an Illinois lake leads to a new lease on life for all involved. Well, we want to warn you that some of the following images may be disturbing to some, but the story of this rescue is uplifting. Bryant Fritz was fishing on Kaufman Lake in Champaign when he spotted this puppy, now named Dory, trapped inside of a cage in the freezing water. She was suffering from hypothermia, was wounded and missing patches of fur. Bryant got her out of the lake, took her to an emergency clinic, and we are happy to report she's doing much better today. Bryant says this encounter was anything but chance. That his own dog recently died, and he's now hoping to give Dory her forever home.
Oh,
and
sweet baby.
So thankful for that man and for taking that dog in.
All right, an enthusiastic dad's support for his daughter is going viral. Meet cheer dad Hakili Holland. He was seen mimicking his daughter's moves as she cheered at a high school football game in Virginia on Friday. Another dad in the stands, of course, captured Holland's enthusiastic moves and posted the video online, applauding Holland for showing complete support for his daughter. The viral video has now been seen more than 3 million times. Holland says if his moves bring people joy, he'll gladly continue being that guy. Sean, Mike,
I'm a big fan
our
of cheer dad.
I never saw, I don't think our dads were ever in the stands doing that. Yeah, doing a high kick or anything. Come on.
Oh, man. He could make the team. I think he knew that whole routine.
Yeah. Impressive. Very impressive. All right,
passionate.
Todd. Are we going to be shaking our pom-poms for the forecast today?
Well, maybe today, but not in the coming days. I can guarantee that. Today's probably the best day that we have. And even today, there's some minor flaws in the forecast. We're starting off real chilly, right around freezing in Logansport. Kokomo, a few flurries possible there in northern locations, as you see. Not going to cause any impact on the roadways, though. 33 in Bloomington currently. Overall, though, temperatures today will climb up into the mid-50s. Still a little bit below normal, but it's the best weather day we have in our extended forecast. We'll talk about that extended forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Here at 5:30, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. We're talking about last night's election results. They are in, and we have the results on several across Indianapolis, as well as those school referendums in the suburbs.
We're going to have all the takeaways from Democracy 2019. Plus, it's been nearly 2 weeks since neighbors on the city's east side have had internet or cable service.
Working for you, we're taking their concerns straight to that utility provider. But first, here at 5:30 on your Wednesday, it's midweek. We want to get a check of the forecast.
Yeah, meteorologist Todd Clausen standing by. And Todd, you're telling us embrace the weather today because it's not looking too good from here.
You know, we have rain and snow heading our way and 2 blasts of cold air that are going to come in Friday and then eventually next week. So today, when you look at it as a whole, it's not a bad day for us. You'll need the sunglasses at times throughout the day today. You definitely need the jacket this morning, and your outdoor workout is good to go. I didn't check the umbrella. You don't need it this morning, but if you're going to be out late tonight, you may want to have that handy. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. 32 in Greencastle right now. It's 31 in Connorsville, 34 in Tipton, 37 in the city. So it's very chilly. Where it's a little bit colder, that's where the skies are a little bit clearer this morning, especially off to the east and south. To the north, we even have a few flurries that are out there. That won't cause an impact on the roadways, but don't be shocked if you see it. And then there's more rain down to the south. That is going to head our way as we work our way into the evening hours. So there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that are going to be going on in this forecast in the coming days. So today's just kind of quiet for us, at least initially here, with some sunshine this morning. 50 degrees by the noon hour, mid-50s for your afternoon highs. The clouds gather, though, this afternoon and this evening. We'll talk about those rain showers that arrive tonight coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. We are keeping a close eye on traffic on this Wednesday morning. This is a live look in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 here at the North Split. Traffic is moving along just fine through this area. No crashes or issues to slow you down, so let's plan out your commute. Taking a look here at our map, heading in from the east side along westbound I-70 from Post Road to I-65 at the North Split. It's a 10-minute commute, so everything there is traveling up to speed. So let's head up to the northeast side, I-465 here and I-69. You can see traffic's picking up, but there's no issues right here on the northeast side. We'll continue to keep a close eye on things things throughout the morning and keep you updated.
News just in this morning surrounding the Indigo Red Line. Within the last hour and a half, Indigo announced the free fare period will be extended through the month of November. You might remember fare collection was slated to start on Monday. Indigo leaders say the extension is once again due to the My Key ticketing system. Transit officials say they're testing a temporary system able to collect fare starting December 1st.
Also breaking this morning, fire crews are working to figure out what caused this fire to duplex early this morning. Firefighters were called out to North Grant Avenue around 3:15 this morning on reports of a double residence fire. Flames here were coming from the home when crews arrived at the scene. Firefighters say thankfully no one was hurt. We will continue to keep you updated as we learn more.
More breaking news, this time from the city's north side. Police say a fight led to gunfire, injuring a man and a woman at an apartment complex. The shooting happened on Orchard Terrace around 10:30 last night. At this hour, police say the man is in serious condition and the woman is expected to survive. Police have not released any information about who shot the pair.
It's 5:33. All the votes are in this morning for dozens of races right here in central Indiana.
The race for Indianapolis mayor was one of the most talked about races, along with multiple school referendums. We begin with those results. Democratic mayor Joe Hogsett secured a second term. He won by a large margin, beating Republican challenger Jim Merritt and Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton.
I am humbled. I am honored, and I could not possibly be more excited to serve as the mayor of Indianapolis for another 4 years.
Hogsett ran a campaign of fiscal responsibility, citing 3 consecutive years of balanced city budgets. He will go into his second term on a mission to take advantage of the center of his campaign message. Progress is being made, but the work is not done yet. Coming up at 6 o'clock on Good Morning Indiana, Mayor Joe Hogsett will join us right here in studio to talk about his win and his plans for next term.
Voters in several counties also had the opportunity to vote on several different school referendums.
Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what passed and what didn't. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. So, yes, several schools were hoping to get referendums passed, the 2 biggest being at Center Grove and Lawrence Township. Center Grove schools hope to bring $24.8 million over the next 8 years to increase student safety and security. The referendum did not pass, with more than 4,000 people voting against it. The school board wanted to use the referendum to hire more school resource officers and camera monitoring systems. And in Lawrence Township, voters passed a $191 million referendum that will take place over 20 years. They plan to make upgrades to aging buildings. They say Lawrence Central High School hasn't had a major renovation since 1993, and Lawrence North has never had a major renovation. Now, Carmel and Zionsville schools, they did pass their referendums, but Danville did not get the green light for their referendum. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. RTV6 asked you what you want from your elected officials now that they've won your vote. One issue being addressed is food deserts. A $400,000 grant from the city made the opening of a bodega possible this summer in one of the city's food deserts. Cleo's Bodega, Grocery and Cafe opened 5 months ago. It sits right near MLK and 24th, which is one of the city's largest food deserts. Brandon Cosby, one of the people behind Cleo's, say they hope to be an example for other areas of the city.
We really wanted to be able to build a model of something that the residents knew belonged to them and that they would be proud to have in their neighborhood.
As part of Mayor Hogsett's plan to address food deserts, the Office of Public Health and Safety is accepting applications right now for neighborhood food champions who will attend workshops and come up with ways to improve food access.
An apartment is heavily damaged after a stolen van being pursued by police crashed into the building here on the northeast side of Indianapolis. This all happened around 8:30 last night on North Hillside Avenue near 30th and Keystone. 3 adults and 4 young kids were inside that apartment. Police say a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old were inside the stolen vehicle. Investigators say thankfully no one here was hurt. Major Harold Turner with IMPD has this advice for any young people who may make bad decisions.
You decide to do it for whatever stupid reason, when the police are behind you, then have that plan already in your head. If you already get caught, I'm just going to get caught. Or stop and run on foot. Whatever. I mean, preferably stop and just, you know, you're not going to go to prison for decades for stealing a car. So just stop, deal with the punishment that happens, and just and that way you go home safely eventually.
Those teens in that case were taken into custody.
If you are a woman who had a tattoo done by this man right here on your screen, a Kentucky sheriff's office wants to hear from you. Police arrested 40-year-old George Clapp last month on multiple counts of rape and sexual abuse. Clapp tattooed multiple people in the Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana tri-state area, but it's unclear why investigators are asking for tattoo clients to come forward. You can report information by calling the number on your screen, 270-298-4411.
It is 5:38. AT&T tells RTV6 that it's looking into a problem with service here in this neighborhood over on the east side of Indianapolis. We started asking some questions about the outage after people here who were impacted called us for help. Neighbors say they've not had a phone, cable, or internet service for 11 days now. That includes Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church in the Martindale-Brightwood area. A deacon at the church says that he and others have called several times a day, every day, for updates with no progress.
As you know, each call is roughly a 40-minute wait period. So that's time out of your day times 3 to where we're waiting just to get information that we still won't have phone lines. We're also impacted with our daycare facility. We don't have outbound communication for families, parents to access their children, and this is a serious problem.
RTV6 will continue to follow up on this problem until it gets resolved. And if you have a problem and you need help getting results, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
The YMCA of Greater Indianapolis is getting ready to hire more people. Today, the organization is holding a citywide job fair for available positions. It's happening this afternoon from 4 to 7 in the evening at all 12 YMCA of Greater Indianapolis locations. You're being asked to bring a resume and a great attitude. For more details on this event and other job opportunities, just find this story on the RTV6 app or head to hiringhoosiers.com. And Todd, if people are heading out to that job fair this evening, will they need an umbrella?
You know, this evening you probably do need to have the umbrella handy as some rain showers come in. The kids do not need the umbrella, though, as they head off to school this morning. It's chilly, there's no doubt about that. An average temperature right around 35, but some of you are down near freezing this morning with partly cloudy skies. And then as the kids come home, at that point the clouds are starting to gather a little bit at 55 degrees, but we're still dry. But back off to our southwest, there is a storm system that's going to be heading our way. The bulk of this precipitation is going to bypass us to the north. There could be a quick passing flurry or sprinkle this morning in northern locations, but it's really not going to impact your forecast at all. But going forward in this forecast, we are going to average well below normal. Today, keep in mind, we're up to 55. That's pretty close to our average high of 57. Tomorrow, we're at 40 very early on. Then Friday, we're in the 30s. We get on Sunday back up close to 50 degrees. And then the temperatures really drop off Monday as we get an Arctic blast, the first real one of the season. We'll talk all about it in your 7-day planning forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. As public hearings in the impeachment investigation are set to begin, one witness is changing his testimony. Coming up, why he says he needs to revise his statement.
9 family members were killed in an ambush near the U.S.-Mexico border. Still ahead, why officials believe they were targeted.
And here's a live look right now at traffic, I-65 and 56th Street. This is up on the northwest side where everything is moving along up to speed. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays. Stick around. Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back after this short break.
Love, freshen up. Don't cover up. Febreze.
It's 5:44, and here's a live look at your drive right now on the east side, I-70 and Sherman Drive. You can see traffic here is moving along smoothly, both eastbound and westbound this morning. No crashes or delays on the east side to slow down your commute.
The House is moving closer to the public testimony phase of the impeachment inquiry. This after Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union and a crucial witness, revised his earlier closed-door testimony. He says he now remembers telling a top Ukrainian aide the country would not receive military aid until it committed to investigating the 2016 election and former Vice President Joe Biden. In his original testimony, Sondland denied any preconditions to aid when asked, but he says he was just repeating what the president told him on a phone call.
It's never too late to do the right thing. People want to keep coming forward, telling us the truth. We'll welcome it.
The White House dismissing Sondland's reversal. In a statement, the White House argues the transcripts show even less evidence for impeachment than previously thought.
At 5:45, 9 family members are now dead after being ambushed and killed near the Mexico border. U.S. officials now believe that they may have been targeted. It all happened Monday while they were traveling in a caravan through northern Mexico to pick up family for an upcoming wedding. Family members say that they were attacked by an armed group which sprayed the car with bullets and then set one vehicle at least on fire. The victims killed include 3 women, 4 small children, and 2 infants. 8 other children survived the attack. All are members of the Lebaron family. They are dual Mexican and American citizens who live in a Mormon community near the border. U.S. officials believe that they may have been targeted because the family had a history of conflict with drug cartels. Mexico's security minister said the attack could have been a case of mistaken identity.
The FCC has approved the merger of T-Mobile and Sprint. The Federal Trade Commission okayed the $26 billion deal, which will combine the nation's 3rd and 4th largest wireless carriers. Republicans praised the deal as a way to speed up the development of 5G networks in the U.S. Some Democrats, however, opposed it, saying it would lead to higher phone bills. The merger isn't official yet because 10 states are trying to block it in court. The trial is scheduled to begin next month. Something that is official, however, the weather. It's cold out there, Todd. There's no denying it.
It is chilly. Temperatures are below freezing this morning in some locations, and if you think this is cold, wait till you see what's heading our way. By the time we get to Friday, these may be some of our high temperatures across the area. 32 in Greencastle, 34 in Lafayette, 32 in Connersville, Richmond. You're at 30 degrees this morning. And as we work our way throughout the day today, it's not a bad day for us today. All the kind of inclement weather and the big temperature swings are in our future. So today we start off with some sunshine, and then the clouds will kind of gather as we go into the afternoon hours with high temperatures that'll be topping off in the mid-50s. 57's our normal high, so 55 is not that bad for this time of year. And then by 6 p.m. we're down to 51 degrees. The issues will arrive tonight and then beyond. This morning there could be a flurry or two here in northern locations. Nothing that's going to impact your drive. To the south, a little more in the way of clearer skies. But as we expand out, you notice this batch of rain down to our south. That is what we are going to track in here later tonight and eventually throughout the morning hours tomorrow as a cold front starts to make its way through the area. So let me walk you first through today, and then we'll go into tomorrow as well, hour by hour on TrueCast. So the sun comes up, we'll burn some of the cloud cover that we have out there off, and we'll be left with partly cloudy skies. This evening, the clouds will start to gather once again, and once we get past, say, 7 o'clock, and maybe a little bit earlier here in southern locations, showers will start to overspread the area. They're all pretty light. They're generally scattered this evening, but if you are going to be out and about, just know that they are going to be possible. As we get into tomorrow morning's commute, that's when we're going to see a steady rain start to develop here across the area, especially in southern locations. But as the colder air comes in, you notice the rain changes over to some snow, maybe a little thin band of mixed precipitation. And by mid-morning, it could be snowing decently here across the area tomorrow, especially in some of these darker shades of blue that you see. But the timing coming through while the sun is up is key. One will be in the mid-50s today. The pavement's going to be very warm. Tomorrow, temperatures will probably be a little bit above freezing as the colder air comes in. So that's why I'm not expecting any accumulating snow on the roadways. There could be some minor snow accumulation on grassy areas tomorrow, but the roads, they should not be impacted by this event. But still, here we are. We're talking about snow in the beginning of November. Temperatures tomorrow are going to fall throughout the day. They initially hold pretty steady in the upper 30s, and then they really start to tumble once that cold front is fully through the area tomorrow. And as you wake up on Friday morning, this is the temperature spread. 17 in the outlying areas. It's about 22 degrees as you make your way into the city. It's very, very cold on Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we only get back up to 37 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then Saturday and Sunday, not bad for the weekend. It starts very cold on Saturday if you're running the Monumental Marathon in the 20s, but up to 45 with partly cloudy skies. Sunday up to 51. But once we get to Monday, that's when the real Arctic front comes through. as it comes through. Could be some more snow showers across the area. 32 degrees on Monday, 18 on Tuesday morning, with a high Tuesday afternoon, Lauren, of only 31 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at some drive times and plan out your commute here on the west side. As you're traveling eastbound on I-74, it is a 7-minute drive right now from State Road 267 through Brownsburg here to the I-465 ramps. No delays there. So let's take a look across town at our INDOT traffic camera here on the northeast side. This is I-465 near Pendleton Pike. You can see lots of headlights out that way, but everything is open and traveling smoothly, both northbound and southbound. Of course, we'll keep a close eye on those roads as we head into the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll keep you updated.
A new study says that construction workers are more likely to misuse prescription opioids than employees in any other industry. The research was developed at the New York University College of Global Public Health. It found that more than 3% of construction workers reported misusing prescriptions. That's compared to 2% reported in other professions. Researchers say that's due to the high rate of job injuries, which leads to workers to use opioids to treat pain.
At 5:51, usually you have to talk to voice assistants to get them to do what you want, but a group of scientists says that your smart speakers can actually be hacked with lasers. Researchers from the University of Michigan and a college in Japan found that they could command virtual helpers like Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri, and Google's Assistant with a laser from hundreds of feet away. They were able to make the devices do anything from opening a smart garage door to making purchases on Amazon. Spokespeople for Google and Amazon say that their companies are reviewing that research.
The college basketball season had just begun and big plays are already being made. After the break, a miraculous buzzer beater you do not want to miss.
And a new event is heading to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can download the RTV6 app right now to read why there won't be any drivers on the track. It's 5:52. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
BenefitIndy.org to learn more.
The college basketball season officially got underway on Tuesday across the country, and there already has been plenty of excitement.
That's right. This morning, we may already have a contender for the wildest moment of the season. Take a look at this. This is Kyra Lambert, a member of Duke's women's basketball team, and with the clock running out at the end of the first quarter, Lambert launched this crazy three-court shot. And incredibly, it went in.
Oh, but that's not all. Watch one of the band members closely behind the basket. He was so excited about the shot, he slipped over a loose piece of sheet music and took a bit of a tumble. I am sure he's okay. I'm hoping you're okay, young man. But
yes. Oh, my goodness. The music. That'll get you.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Gotta love college basketball season.
Yes, it is here.
But that means it's cold outside. Yeah.
Definitely trending colder here. Today's actually not a bad day for us. It's the best day that I have in my extended forecast. With that said, a few flurries are possible this morning in northern locations, and it's chilly. 37 in the city, 32 in Bloomington, 35 in Muncie. But temperatures eventually today here will climb up into the mid-50s. About 55 degrees will be your high for the day today. Skies overall will be partly sunny. However, late tonight, after sunset, which is about 5:30, there will be the potential for some showers, and then it gets really, really chilly. We'll talk about that and the potential for a little snow in the forecast tomorrow coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:56. Stay with us. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.